I'm Brian Franke. I'm a folk rock singer-songwriter out of the Washington, D.C. area, and wanted to share with you a little bit about my experience going through the book Music Success in 9 Weeks. Now, if you hadn't noticed at all in the last 10 years or so, the internet has completely changed the landscape for music. Every day there seems to be more and more stuff out there, websites, content, ways of connecting and drawing fans in. And before I started this book, I was very overwhelmed with the amount of things that I needed to sift through and then portray myself on as a musician. Now, if this sounds anything like what you're going through, this book is going to clear all of that up for you and give you a very well-defined path for sifting through everything, but also how to use all these tools and websites out there to further your music career. The best way I can sum up my experience in going through Music Success in 9 Weeks is through 4 very easy points. 1, setting my goals. 2, developing key relationships. 3, increasing my opportunities. And 4, increasing my visibility. Now let me tell you a little bit about my experience with the book in going through these 4 points. With goal setting, right away, week 1 of Music Success in 9 Weeks gets you down into what do you want to achieve? What are your goals as a musician? What is success to you? If you don't have any goals at all as a musician, or you're not really sure, what you want to do, you're probably just standing still right now and you're spinning your wheels. You're just stuck in the mud. Well, defining your goals is going to lead you down your path to success. Remember, this is your career, and so you define your own success, and defining your goals and setting them right away as you go through this book is going to really, really help you out. Point number 2, developing relationships. Well, you probably have relationships, for example, with your fans. What the book is going to lead you through is how to further develop your relationship with your fans, for example, but it's also going to show you how to develop relationships, for example, with music bloggers, with podcasters, as another example. In my experience, with all 3 of these types of people that are in my career, I was not at all talking with music bloggers or music podcasters, and I was sort of abusing my fans a little bit, to be honest. I was always asking my fans, please come to a show, it's going to be great, and that didn't really work very well. It was like I was begging and pleading with them to come out to shows. Well, let me tell you a little bit how that has changed. I've improved my newsletter. I've gotten my fans more involved in my career. For example, I've just posed questions to them every month in my newsletter. Lately, the last thing I did that really got them involved in my career is with naming my first album that's coming out. And I think my fans think it's pretty cool that they're getting involved in my career, and I love it. I love to get the feedback from them. But the other 2 folks that you should connect with, and the book is going to show you how to do that, is bloggers and podcasters. I had never connected with those 2 types of people before, and started to, and the results were really, really fantastic. With music bloggers, I began just commenting and reading a lot of blogs and commenting on blog posts, and starting to follow a lot of these bloggers on Twitter, for example. And they, in turn, as they got to know me better, and we got to talking about music and what I did and what they did, and why we appreciated music, on Twitter they would say, hey, you should follow this guy Brian Franke, he's got some great stuff out there. So that was another example of what the book did for me. With podcasts, well, I had no idea how to get my music on a podcast, and Ariel will show you how to do that. It's very easy, and I will tell you, within 48 hours of me putting my music out there for podcasters to use, my stuff was played on a couple of music podcasts, and I was able to get fans from even as far south as Brazil, for example, as fans of my music. It was pretty cool, and it was like being played on the radio for the first time. Well, if you couldn't tell, all these relationships are going to lead to opportunities for you. I was able to, through a blogger, get a free consultation for a music business plan, and a guy looked at my goals and what I wanted to do and how I was going to do it. I had an opportunity through networking with another musician to play at Iota Club and Cafe down here in Washington, D.C., which is a premier music venue. Had never played there before. As you can tell, all this networking and all these relationships will lead you down the road to further opportunities, which in turn, which brings me to my last point, increases your visibility, believe it or not. So as long as you're being active, you're communicating, you're putting yourself out there, being honest, being true to who you are, people are going to connect, whether they're fans or bloggers or podcasters, whomever they may be, online or in your neighborhood, they will connect with you. So as you go through this book, I wish you the best of luck, number one, but also a couple key pieces of advice. Number one, you are in charge. This is your career. You can define it any way you want. You can set any goals you want. You can develop these relationships whether you want to or not. But remember, you are accountable for yourself, okay? Or if you're in a band, you guys are all accountable for each other in how you want to further your music career. My last piece of advice is go through the 9 weeks in 9 weeks. Don't do music success in 9 weeks in do a little bit here and there over a course of a year. It really helps to go through and have some consistency and build all these relationships and opportunities and visibility over 9 weeks. It made a huge difference. It was a book that very much helped my career out, and it's like night and day for me from before I started to where I am now. So, best of luck to you, and take care.